Hey there, my name is Casey. I'm also known as Miss Freddie, and I am a professional photo organizer. I'm excited to help you guys today deal with a little of the photo overwhelm that we all feel and teach you 3 simple options for creating a photo legacy. So as I said, my name is Casey. I'm also known as Miss Freddie. That's the name of my business. It actually stems from a lifelong nickname that I've had. Apparently, when I was born, I looked like Fred Flintstone. My parents started calling me Fred. It morphed into Freddie, and still now, all these years later, my parents refer to me as Freddie and not Casey, even though I think I no longer look like Fred Flintstone, but that's my name. I have been a professional photographer for 10 years, and as I was focusing my business on kids and families, I wanted a name that was memorable and also easy for kids to say, and so that was when my business became Miss Freddie. And then back in 2017, I got certified as a professional photo organizer. We were actually leaving Seattle, where I had grown my photography business. We were moving to where we live now, Golden, Colorado. And I was looking for additional services that I could add to my business as I was working on building the photography base of clients again here in a new city. And so that in 2017 is when I started doing things like scanning and photo book design and digital organizing. So I actually run my business entirely virtually. I screen share with people all over the world, and via screen share, I organize the photos on their computer and create a backup system for them. Screen share technology is so awesome that it allows me to do this business for people and help them with these services all over the world. And then I also offer a lot of online courses so that people can do this on their own time or learn some additional skills related to photography if they're not comfortable hiring me to do it for them. So the 3 goals I have today for this presentation are: 1, I want to help you get your photos off of your phone and into a format that your family can enjoy. 2, I want to help you attach text to those photos to make the story more meaningful. And 3rd, I want you to be able to do this as quickly as possible. I know we are all very busy. We have a lot of demands on our time, especially as parents. And I just don't want this to have to be something that you spend too much time on. I've come up with some quick solutions for you. So option 1, there's a company I love called Pinhole Press. And they have some amazing, simple templates on their website to build books. And the one that I want to highlight today is called the All About book. And let me show you a picture of what that looks like. So over here on the right, you can see they've got all about my brother, all about my sister. The one that I think would be helpful and really quick to create is this All About 2020 book that you see down here. The book is only $19.99, so this is an affordable project. It's a small 5x5 book, so kids love it. It's real tiny and easy to fit into their hands. But the best part is you only need to pick 12 photos. So you can scroll back on your camera roll real quick, pick 12 photos, and make this book in a matter of minutes on their website. There's no design required. You just plop in the 12. There are 10 prompts that are already laid out in this book, the All About 2020 book. And it's just so quick and easy to drop the 12 photos in, and then you don't have to even change anything else. So here's some examples of the prompts. 3 things I loved in 2020 were, and then they show this from the perspective of kids filling it out, but I think it might be a cool legacy item if you fill it out with your impressions. And then my favorite memory from the year was, so this is kind of how the prompts work. They already have this red part here pre-filled, and then they have some space for you to provide your answers right alongside a photo. As you're laying out the book on their website, if you are feeling overwhelmed about coming up with the best answers for these prompts, don't let that stop you, because you can actually print the book empty, like you just drop in the 12 photos and order the book. And when it arrives, as they kind of show here, you can fill it out with your handwriting, which I think adds a nice personal touch that your handwriting is then there documented as your answers. And then one other tip, I know here they have just a picture of the child by themselves, but I think you only have to come up with 12 photos here. So my tip would be to prioritize ones that have the whole family together or you with your kids. I know that it's uncomfortable sometimes as parents to get in front of the camera, or we don't have a lot of opportunities to be in front of the camera because we're the ones taking the pictures. Maybe we don't feel our best and want to be in front of the camera, but I would encourage you to get over that and get in front of the camera so that your children can see the whole family together in this little memory book here. So that is the All About book. Like I said, it's the quickest and easiest option here today. I'm going to kind of get a little bit more complicated as I move through the three. So this one, if you want to just knock out a project truly in a few minutes, there you go. Go through your camera roll, pick 12 photos you want to showcase, go to the Pinhole Press website, dump the 12 photos in, and push order. That's it. Okay, option number 2 is chatbooks. Many of you are probably familiar with chatbooks. They're a really popular service and they're a really easy time-saving service. So the best part of chatbooks is that it is automatic. Automatic, like you sign up for this subscription series and the books just show up at your door. It is truly that easy. I have a subscription series and sometimes I totally forget about it and the books show up at my door and it's just such a fun surprise. It is $10 to $20 per book, depends on the size that you pick and then the cover, if you do hardcover or soft cover. And then the default for the subscription is 60 pages. And also that $10 to $20 covers shipping. So the price on this is very affordable. So one suggestion I have here to make this as easy as possible is to create a private Instagram account that you link to your chatbook series. So the way that the chatbooks concept works with these subscriptions is you install the app, the chatbooks app on your phone, and you link it to an Instagram account. And then it will automatically print, as you can see here, a photo and the caption, each on their own page. And then you can choose to have the date at the top if you want, of your Instagram feed. And then every 60 photos just turn into a book that show up at your door. And you can get more specific, like you can have it just be for a certain hashtag that you use, or I mean, you don't even have to link it to an Instagram account. You can make these books manually. But for the sake of efficiency and making this as easy as possible, I think creating a brand new private Instagram account is a great little place, a space for you to work on this project gradually over time as you have little moments here or there. You could fill this private Instagram account with awesome memories, and little prompts like I've written here. I love this silly face you make when you're trying not to smile. And that's what the picture showcases. So you're just commenting on your thoughts of the picture. Or my favorite memory from this trip to New York was when. So you're kind of just telling a story only meant for books through your private Instagram account. Whereas usually you think of Instagram as you're showing this to friends and family. This is sort of just your own little private way to document your life and create these legacy books. So here are some tips I have to make it even easier and to kind of break this up into smaller, easier to do tasks. First, go back through your camera roll on your phone and flag your favorites. So hit that little, if you have an iPhone, you hit the little heart icon on the photos and that you love, and then they get added to a favorites album automatically. So then if you have 20 minutes to sit down and devote some time to actually posting things on Instagram, you have that favorites album to pull from. So when you're creating a new Instagram post, you can actually go directly to the favorites album, and then you'll have, well, here are the 20 I picked that I'm going to want included on this Instagram account. I'm going to just work from this batch of 20 rather than getting overwhelmed by your camera roll every time that you sit down to open Instagram. So that's my first tip, is flag your favorites that you're going to want included in this project. And then you can continue to flag favorites as new photos are taken. And then my second tip is to use the Notes app on your Mac or your phone, or you can just draft an email if you don't have a Mac, to write longer captions. Sometimes when you open Instagram, it's just kind of a cramped interface to try to sit and really write a thoughtful caption or a longer caption. And so it might be easier to do that in an email that you then email to yourself, and then you can copy and paste it into the caption space on Instagram. Or if you have a Mac and an iPhone, your Notes app will sync across devices, so you could actually do the typing on your Mac. And then when you open the Notes app on the phone, you'll see all that work and you can copy and paste it right into Instagram. So that is kind of how chapbooks works. I view the pinhole press option as kind of like a one-time, here you go, spend a few minutes on their website, order, and you're done. Chapbooks would be more of an ongoing body of work that you can very easily contribute to when you have tiny pockets of time. So this is something that you can fit into your lifestyle. Maybe if you're at the doctor's appointment and you're waiting in the waiting room for a long time, you could, crank out a couple Instagram posts into this private account. And eventually you'll hit 60 posts and it will turn into a book automatically on its own. Okay, so option 3, as I said, these are going to kind of increase in the time commitment or the complexity. This one would be to create a high-end album. So even though this is a fancier project, I wanted to find a way to still make it simple and easy to complete, not requiring a lot of, design experience or investment in software and all of that. So what I did was create a pack of pre-designed pages that have prompts, and there are 20 pages in this pack. And then you can access these templates at Canva, which is a free design resource. It's canva.com is a website. You just create an account and you can use a lot of the functionality for free on their website. So I've created 20 pages and they have various prompts for you to answer and then maybe pull in photos alongside of it to kind of create this elevated story as a legacy for your family. So this link right here, this bit.ly link, will take you to a website that says Casey has shared templates with you, open in Canva, and that's all you have to do. Then it will open up. Let me show you what some of these templates look like. So this is what the book would look like after you've designed it. What was one of the hardest things about growing up? What's one of the bravest things you've ever done? What simple pleasures in life do you enjoy? What mistakes have you made? Do you have any regrets? So these are very thought-provoking questions. This might take you a while to answer, but the design process itself should not take you a long time. So you type your answer into the spots, and then you drag a photo onto the square that is the placeholder for the photo, and that's it. So yeah, this is what will open. What you see here is what will open when you click that bit.ly link, and then you just hit this teal button that says Use Template to get started right on Canva. So here is what the Canva interface looks like. It's very simple. So this is what the template will look like when you open it, and then you just type where it says type your answer here. You can type goes here, and then you can change that to different fonts if you like. If you like something different than what's there, you can change that to whatever you prefer. You can change the size, you can change the color. It's a nice, simple design interface that I don't think will feel too overwhelming. But you can also just leave it exactly how I've created it and use the fonts and the sizes that I've put in here if you like that better. And then on the photos side, let's say you have some pictures on your computer that you'd like to pull in here. All you do is just drag and drop from your computer onto this screen, and they will plop into these spots. So let's find these were ones that I uploaded previously. If I just drag them here, as soon as they get over that space, they fill the spot, and there we go. That would be all that I need to do. And once you finish all of the template pages, like I said, there are 20 in total, this download button in the top right will allow you to download. I choose a JPEG and do the highest quality, and then I'll download all pages. And that will be all you need to do. Then you can take those downloads. They're now free from Canva. They're just JPEG files on your computer. You can take them to any printing company that you like. So speaking of photo book companies, I know there are a lot out there. And actually, a few years ago, I decided I wanted to just test a whole bunch of them out to see how they compare. And I printed the same exact book. I think at over 10 printers now. I've been kind of adding to this project over time. And my two favorite options are Printique and Artifact Uprising. Printique is what you see shown in this picture here. Printique has really, really nice lay flat pages that are a little thicker and nicer than just your typical Shutterfly photo book. And then you can also add additional cover options like fabric, which is what you see here, or leather, or you can just use a photo cover on the outside of your book. Artifact uprising is another high-end option that's really nice. I find in general, though, that Artifact uprising's prices are higher than Printique's, but they have a great app you can download and check it out and see what you think of them. They have some nice photo gifts and other things, but their quality is really nice. Okay, so that was kind of the 3 projects that I wanted to show you as options for getting your photos and your words in the hands of your family to enjoy. And like I said, they went from the smallest time commitment to the largest time commitment, but don't feel intimidated by any of the 3 options. Just pick one and get started. So I want to share one more bonus tip for you, and that is creating a video legacy. I'm not sure if you've heard of the 1 Second Everyday app, but it is so awesome. I've been documenting my family story with the 1 Second Everyday app for 5 years now. It is a free app to install on either an iPhone or an Android. And every day you take a 1 second clip and it strings together automatically to make a beautiful video memento for your family. It is very quick and simple. Let me show you some screenshots so you can see. So the app looks like this on the left. You just tap the date that you want to add in. So you tap today, or you could tap an older date. And then you'll pick a video, just like a regular video file from your camera roll. And this little square here is how you select your 1 second. So you can slide this left and right to kind of watch the preview of what the second will look like, and then pick your favorite one. You can also do longer snippets. The free app limits your snippet lengths, but if you do the paid app, you have options to go longer in length. But just start with 1 second for now and see what you like. And then you hit trim, and it will add it into a square over here on the left. It will then add that square. Then you hit this little play button in the middle at the bottom over here on this left screenshot. And what you'll see is this final screenshot that comes up on the right, which mashes all of your clips together. So this starts on January 1st, and it will run for 6 minutes because that's how much I've populated for my family so far this year. But then you can pick different dates too. If you only want to mash this month's worth and just watch a shorter video, that's fine. Then you hit the little check mark and it will save it right to your phone. So there is no video editing fancy skills required. This app is really easy. You just take a 1 second snippet every day and put them on the calendar here, and then you hit play and they all play in order. And it puts the date timestamp on the corner of this. So it kind of makes it like a little chronological record, which is really fun. All right, let me show you a little clip from my own family's 1 second every day. You can see it starts on January 7th, so you don't have to start on the 1st of the year and make this an annual record. You can start truly at any time. So this is what it looks like. I'll just play a little bit of it for you.
Thanks, Joe. Ping, ping, ping. What's this?
Work hard.
Cheers!
Just go ahead that way.
So you can see it's very quick moving, but it's really fun. My family loves watching back our 1 second everyday videos. So I have a few tips about video. Now that I've used this app, the 1 second everyday app, for so many years, I have a couple suggestions. Number one, film horizontally. This was a hard hurdle for me to get over, to change. I'm comfortable, you get your phone out, you hold it up and you take a picture. That's like just the natural response. Now I flip my phone sideways and take my video horizontally so it fills the frame. It will make the output much nicer when it fills the frame instead of having the tiny portrait videos in here. You can absolutely put portrait videos into 1 second every day. That's not a limitation, but I just think it looks better in the final result when you take horizontal video and fill the frame. That way it will fill your TV screen if you're streaming this onto your TV. If you miss a date, no big deal. If we go back a screen, you can see I missed October 12th right here. So I can just take an additional video today, or maybe I took an additional video on one of these days. I can add it in there. No big deal. Fills them in. Usually my go-to for filler is I'll take videos of my dog because he kind of looks the same every day. So it's not really like dated specific content. I just add some generic filler in there. Another idea would be to ask a spouse for clips too, or a nanny or someone else who might be filming your family. You can ask them for clips if you're not available to, take a 1 second every day. Number 4, don't zoom. I think you guys have noticed, but when you zoom on your video by like tapping your fingers and zooming in on your screen, it just degrades the quality. It makes it a little fuzzy, and you want your final output to be nice and crisp. So instead of tapping and zooming in general on my phone, I just walk closer to zoom in. And now not to get too specific, but if you do have a more recent iPhone, there is a button on your camera that says like 1x, 2x, 0.5x if you have the 11. Those are different lenses that are different focal lengths. So if you can tap the 2x, it will switch to a lens that's more zoomed in, and it will still be crisp. So if you are trying to get closer to your subject, tap the 1x and 2x buttons on the camera versus using your fingers and opening and pinching your fingers to zoom in and out. My last tip is to capture motion while you're standing still. When you're looking at a 1 second clip, the motion is very obvious. If you're like running or shaking your camera, it's just a lot happening, and the clips move very quickly. Obviously they're 1 second, so it moves very quickly. So I find that the slower or like more stable the filming person is, the better it plays. So if you're at a soccer game, rather than like taking a video while you're running along the sidelines, you would just stay put. Let the subject be the movement in your video rather than you being the movement as the person filming. And then one thing I love to do with my project is mash and watch it often. So like I said, you can select the dates to mash. And I mean, every couple weeks or every month or so, I just mash it and watch it and show it to my kids, and they really enjoy it. You don't by any means have to wait till the end of the year to reveal this finished project. It's kind of fun to watch as the video builds over time. So my final piece of advice, I know I gave you multiple options. Just pick one thing, pick one project and start it. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by the options that I gave you. Probably when you were listening to me, one of them maybe stood out, or you felt a little like, oh, I could handle that, or I like that idea. Go with that and get started, because I don't want you to get hung up in the decision of which project you're going to do. And you're obviously not going to finish a project until you start one. So I just want you to pick one and start it. You can always get more involved or more complicated or take on more projects in the future. But today, I want you to just pick one thing and start it. Okay, can you guys see me now? Think so? Okay, good. All right. So I want you guys to post questions in the chat. I can see those coming in. Angie and Jill and everyone are in there answering questions too. So please ask questions. I want this to be open Q&A for the rest of the time. But while I wait for some questions to come in, I want to show you some samples of the pictures that I shared in the video. So to start with the pinhole press, this is the tiny All About Me book, or All About 2019 is this, but it's All About 2020 now. It's tiny, so this is nice for when you have little kids, they can just look at it. The pages are nice and thick, so you don't have to worry about them ripping the pages. But truly, this will take you probably less than 20 minutes to make. You go through your phone, flag 12 photos from the last year that you really like, and then you go to the website and you just drop them into each of the squares. And then that's
That's it. You place the order and it comes blank like this with questions for you to answer. And I love, so like I wrote my answers with the Sharpie here so that my handwriting is kind of preserved too. It makes it real personal. So this is the simplest project for sure, guys, to just knock that out. And this company is called Pinhole Press. Also, they usually do a big sale for Black Friday. So if you're feeling like you have that 20 minutes between now and Black Friday, add it to your cart and go ahead and save yourself some money. It's only $20 though at full price, this guy. And you can order multiple copies, you know, give it to the grandmas, whoever thinks that would be fun. The next one I talked about was Chatbooks. Now Chatbooks has different size options. So I wanted to show you guys a few. This is the Chatbook subscription that I get. I take pictures of my kids' artwork. I post it on their private Instagram account, and it just makes pages automatically every 60. We get this in the mail, and then I throw away the artwork. So don't tell them, but then I have it here in a book if they ever want to look at it. So this is my Chatbook subscription. It's $10 for each of these little books, and I believe that includes the shipping. And so you can see I don't really do captions. I just do the pictures and make this as easy as possible. But in the project I was describing as more of a legacy item, you would put a lot more time into the writing of the captions to tell the story in here. So this is their 6x6 hardcover. That is what that looks like. Again, the pages are thicker than just plain paper, so they're not going to rip it. But this isn't like a really super high quality book. This is the 8x8 soft cover. They have fun designs. The artwork is cute. But this one, same thing, just bigger. And so if I wanted this to be a book, like a story to read, I would personally opt for the 8x8 over this 6x6 because it's just like a kind of a bigger book. There's some text in this one, so you could see. I mean, it's just a little easier to read. So that is their 8x8. Both of those are available in the subscription where it just comes to you every 60 photos. They also have hardcover options, which I don't have the smaller options here to show you, but that could be a nice little upgrade for a little bit more money. This is their higher end album. So this is a 10x10 chapbook, and it's a lay flat, really nice, really thick page book. And it's like really smooth, nice matte finish. So this is not the subscription. This could be something where if you try those Canva templates that I sent the link to, this could be like that higher end album. You could print that with Chatbooks as well. I will say Chatbooks seems like the most affordable, reasonably priced vendor, and they do a good job with their quality. Let me scroll up before I go to the third one and answer some of these questions. The name of the company for high-end albums, I'm going to talk more about that in a second, but the one that I listed in the slides was Printique. They used to be known as Adorama Pics. They're owned by the camera and photography company Anorama out of New York. There's the template. Can you go back? Where was this artwork idea when my kids brought home a painting every single day? You know what? You didn't need to take a picture of every single piece of artwork. I don't. I still throw away a lot. I only take pictures of the stuff that's kind of cute, like that. And someone said the artwork looks stunning against the white background. So that is just a piece of white poster board from Walgreens. I set it next to my like sliding door of the patio so that there's nice light coming in. And I do it in batches. I just take like a huge stack and I just photograph it. And then I uploaded it to Instagram in a big stack. Excuse me. Michelle asked, do the captions from Instagram automatically go into the chatbook? Yes. So with Chatbooks, there's an app that you can install on your phone. You can set up that link, the subscription, so that it's pulling from Instagram. And then you can proof it before you order it. You don't have to just like let it, like these I don't even proof. I just let them show up in the mail every 60 because there's not really not a lot happening here. But if you wanted, you could go in and see the pages, change the order, adjust if the captions are showing up. You could spend time customizing designs in there, or you could just leave it easy like I do and have it just print every 60 pages. This just shows up in the mail, kind of like a surprise for us. So let me talk about the high-end albums, that final option. I did show you this lay flat 10 by 10 from Chatbooks. I really like this. So that would be a good place to print those Canva templates. Another option is Printique, like I said. So this is my family yearbook. I print these every year from Printique. It's a really thick, I use a photo cover, but they have options with leather or fabric. And then these are just a really nice, very vibrant colors, thick pages that lay flat. I think this is a great quality. It's called their hardcover photo book. Like I said, you could go fancier and make it a leather cover or a fabric cover. I don't have those because I always get the ones with the photo cover on them. Another option for high end, that same company I recommended for the tiny books, Pinhole Press. These, oh no, that's a chapbook. Pinhole Press, the same guys that made this, offer high-end albums. So this is a fabric, gray fabric book. You can have it just fabric, or you could put a picture like this. And then this were senior photos for a girl back when I was doing photography, but they're thick, like board kind of pages, like a matte board. So this is a nice high-end option as well. If it were me, I probably, the cheapest option, which is still very, very nice, is this Chatbooks 10 by 10 lay flat. So I would take those templates to Canva, design them, you download from Canva as a finished JPEG photo, and you just put them on the Chatbooks website into this book and print it. Chatbooks does sales frequently. This quality on this lay flat is really nice. So that's who I would recommend for the high end. I use Printique for my family yearbooks every year, so I do love them, but you're gonna pay more for that. I pay about $120 to $150 a year for my family yearbook. Let me look at the questions. Deborah asked, how do we find out about your classes? My website is missfreddy, FREDDY.com. If you go to missfreddy.com/courses, you'll see all my courses there. The most popular one is, oh, thanks, Jill posted the link there for you guys. The most popular one is my Backup Bootcamp. That is the course where I teach you how to bring all of your photos into one place, remove duplicates, get them sorted into folders automatically, and then back them up. I'm going to be, the breakout session that I'm teaching this afternoon is basically my whole Backup Bootcamp workflow. So if that sounds like something that you need help with and you're interested in, come to the course and learn, or come to the breakout this afternoon and learn all about the Backup Bootcamp workflow. I also have courses called Family Yearbooks. That's where I show how I make these books with Printique, and I make a yearbook for my family every year. I have a course about scanning old photos, and I have a course called Mac Basics about how to use your Mac better. I also have a course about editing photos if you want to learn how to edit on your phone. Speaking of editing, someone asked, do you have trouble with white balance and exposure of your picture prints? Yes, when I'm photographing on this white poster board, I'm doing this with my iPhone, it usually comes out pretty blue and pretty dark. So I think I have a tutorial on my blog or saved as a highlight on my Instagram that I just do quick adjustment in the editing. I lift the exposure to brighten it up, and then I warm it up to get rid of the blue hue. I'm just kind of trying to make it look white-ish again and not blue. So I make those adjustments, and I actually do it as a batch edit. So I'll edit one, and then since I'm taking all those pictures at one time of like 50 pieces of artwork, I'll do one edit and apply it as a batch edit to all 50 at once, and then put them into Instagram. That's just to save some time. Let's see.
There's a good question from Joanna Peckley, who doesn't have Instagram account, and she asked, do you mean creating a private account just for me or private for my friends? Is that the only place Chatbooks pulls from?
No, you can make manual books with Chatbooks. You do not have to have an Instagram account. I just meant create a private account. So it's just your space. You don't have to share it with friends or family. You can, when you have a private account on Instagram, you have to approve anybody though who can see your things. So it's not public. I just think Instagram is a nice place to house that work because you're pairing the photos that you've selected with the text that you've taken the time to write. And then you're just growing it over time. And then because of the automation, the book makes itself and shows up for you. So I think Instagram is a time saver, but there are ways with the Chatbooks app that you can use. You can make a manual book. So you would have to like design each page, bring in your photo, bring in your text. So if you want to avoid Instagram, you could do that. But I think the private account is nice. It's not like out there for everyone to see unless you invite them to follow you and accept their request. There was another question from JC, I feel like.
Do you print individual copies of your photos and manually put them in a photo album anymore? Or do you only use these services? Is there a place for photo prints today? LOL.
I actually don't do too much printing because this is my effort every year. I make this family yearbook. I pick all my favorite pictures from the year and I put them in here every year. And every month I write like the summary text for the following pictures. So that is my effort to print photos for my family. I do have a subscription and they're going to be just out of reach. Let me grab it though, because it's right here. I do have a Groove Book subscription, which is $3.99 a month. And you pick pictures off your camera roll and they come in this little book that's kind of perforated. The quality is not great, but it's $3.99 a month, which includes your shipping. And you can print up to 100 pictures in here. And then my kids, I just like give it to the kids when it comes in the mail and let them tear them out or hang them on their wall, whatever they want to do. And then I can throw it away over time because it's not like super high quality. So this is called Groove Book. But like I said, the quality is just not awesome. So if your goal is to like print and put something on your wall or in a picture frame, Groove Books wouldn't be for that. I would recommend Printique, the one that I talked about for my books. I would recommend them for printing as well. They do excellent printing. Also MPix, if you've heard of them, they do printing. My tip for you guys though, with printing is anytime a printer offers to automatically color correct your photos, say no. Just print them so that they look the same as how you see them on your screen. When I've used the automatic color correction from various printers, they just get like really contrasty or too dark or sometimes a little green. It just changes it. So my tip is to, no matter who you print with, just skip that automatic color setting. Groove Book, yeah, this is called a Groove Book. And $3.99 a month. I think there's a code in here for your first one free.
Brooke asked, what software do you use to batch edit?
Most editing apps on your phone allow you to do that. The one that I usually use is a Color Story. That is a free, they have add-ons that you pay for, but you can download a Color Story for free. That's the one I probably show in the Instagram highlight. I also really like the Pick Tap Go app for editing, and you can batch edit with them as well. So you make the edit once, you save it as a recipe or a favorite or kind of a different term in each app, and then you can just apply it to the next 50 photos or however many you took of the artwork. Amy also said the Lightroom app is really good. Yes, in Lightroom, you can do the same thing where you save a preset. So if you edit the first piece of artwork, you can save it as a preset and then apply that to all the rest of the pieces of artwork. Somebody said your job is to convince 11 to 12-year-old girls to stop taking hundreds of selfies and clogging up the family iCloud. Times are different, man. I didn't ever have any of that as a teenager. we would have had to, pay to develop the 24 pictures. And so we weren't taking pictures of hundreds of selfies. Yeah, that's funny. Michelle asked, why do I like Amazon photos over Google Photos? So I have two problems with Google. I know Google is incredibly popular, and their search features are truly amazing. They're the best facial recognition and search features that I've found in any of the cloud apps. However, it is very difficult to get your pictures out of Google. They made some changes in the summer of 2019 where it's basically like you can get your photos out, but you get them as hundreds of zip files. When you unzip, they're about half trash documents and half photos, and there's no organization whatsoever. So I don't think that's a good backup, because yes, your photos aren't lost, but what you get, should you try to extract from Google, is truly a mess, and you're going to feel overwhelmed by that. So I love Amazon Photos because how you upload from your computer, let's say you're someone who's very organized, you've got everything in folders by year and month, 2020, 2019, 2018, all these photos, folders. When you upload to Amazon, that's how they're saved. That's how you get them back. And with Amazon, it's as easy as clicking the download button and selecting what you want to download, and then it comes to your computer. It's really awesome. They do have facial recognition and all those features too. The other thing that's a little concerning about Google is their terms of use say they can basically use your pictures for whatever they want, worldwide, marketing, what have you. And if you stop using their services, they still are able to use your photos. And that bothers me a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't bother everyone because so many people are using them. But I think that when you decide to terminate services, they should no longer be able to access your stuff. So that's my problem with Google. I like Amazon better. Also, Google announced this week, I don't know if everyone saw the announcement, they announced that there's no longer going to be free unlimited backup at Google. In 6 months. They're going to start charging. So Amazon is free unlimited photo storage with your Prime membership. So I think Amazon would be a great alternative. Joanna said, for Groovebook, can you buy per month or is it an ongoing monthly subscription? This would be awesome to give the kids for a sporting season to have a book of them or their team for a seasonal memory, but you don't need one each month. So I love that idea. And you can order multiples, like after you finish putting all the pictures in your November book, you can order multiple copies. That's my complaint with Groovebook. You can skip a month, like it will give you a reminder of like, hey, you have 3 days to finish adding your photos before it goes to print. And if you don't add any photos, it doesn't print, but you still get billed. So you can completely pause your account or cancel your account, but you can't skip months, which it is only $3.99. So it's not a huge deal, but I do wish you could just opt to skip this month. Also, the minimum is 40 pictures, and I usually struggle to come up with 40 pictures. This is 100. They always print 100. So if you only put 40 in here, which is the minimum, it will print those 40 twice and then some a third time, because there's always going to be 100. So you'll end up with duplicates. So I do it every other month, always. So I skip every other month because I just don't have 40 pictures that I want to print every month or that I want to put in here. But since it's so inexpensive and since it's pretty much oriented just for my kids, the pictures I put in here are just the junk on my camera roll. Like this is a picture that they took of their stuffies in like a little gondola ride that they made in the bedroom. Like that's not something that I would ever really print, but since I know it's like it's so inexpensive. And see, there it appears again because I didn't have 100. And then they pull out. This one got ripped a little bit, but they pull out. They're just really thin and not great quality. So not what you would want to frame and put on the wall. Does Apple have something similar for photo storage? Apple has iCloud. iCloud is mostly meant to sync across devices, so it's not necessarily backup. Like if you have an iPad and an iPhone and a Mac, all three will show the same contents. But if you delete a picture off your phone, it deletes from all three. So it's not really a backup in the way that Amazon or Google is, where once it goes to Amazon or Google, it stays there. Amazon Photos integrates into all these sites, just like Google Photos then. Michelle asked that. It integrates into some websites, but I usually am uploading to a website either from my camera roll or from my computer. And I can get pictures to both of those places from my Amazon app, or I just had them already saved there to begin with. So I'm never usually integrating across programs. I wouldn't have done it with Google Photos either. I'm usually just uploading off my camera roll or off a computer. Angie said, how fun for a kid to be able to share with their friends. Yeah, I think this would be really fun for what she said about sporting events. Like, you could just bring this to school. I mean, if your kids are going to school, mine are virtual, but when they get to go to school again, they could just bring this, and like, kid can take their picture of themselves at the soccer game, rip it out and put it up in their locker or whatever. I think this is a nice little inexpensive. It's seriously $3.99 a month, and that includes the shipping. That's crazy. I think, I don't know how they do it for so cheap. Like I said, the quality's not great. If you want to try it for free, there is a code. Free book. The code is Von Stein. That's my last name. Von Stein 12. VONSTEIN 12. Share this code. They get a free Groove book, and I get a free one too. There we go. So that's $3.99 saved. So you just download the Groove book app on your phone, and that's how you do it. Thanks, Jill. Yeah, Von Stein 12. Becca asked, are external hard drives the go-to option? I'm worried about my husband, who's not tech friendly, getting access to our Prime and Google accounts after my death. So that's a big part now of like wills, and that people save their passwords or they designate like who gets access to their stuff. So I would say you probably already share a Prime account on Amazon, and so he would be able to have access to your photos through that. But external hard drives are excellent. I've got one plugged in right there. Now that's got all my photos on it. And I'll talk a lot about those in this afternoon's breakout, because that one's all about backing up your photos and like organizing them on a hard drive. But yeah, I think external hard drives are great. Did I say Chatbooks prints the captions you write for Instagram pics? Yes. Like here's one. I wrote on the caption, marbles and paint at preschool, March 2019. And that was what I had written on Instagram. And so it just populated into the book underneath the photo from Instagram. Later on in my efforts, I clearly just got rid of the text because it was slowing me down and it was easier to just print. And honestly, I couldn't remember the dates because I let a lot of time go before I sit down and do the photographing. Everyone seems most excited about artwork, and that wasn't even one of the projects that I included in my presentation. Let's see, did I miss any other questions?
Lynn just highlighted that Chatbooks works with Facebook too.
Yep, it does. I know it works with Google as well. Like I said, you can just upload to their app or their website as well and make a book manually.
And Amy was asking if these pics, how they're not shown on Instagram. I think, Amy, because it's a private account you're creating separate. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, like these pictures do not display on my Miss Freddie Facebook account, which is where I post my pictures and everybody who follows me sees them. This is an artwork account that I created for my daughter, Jill. And I think it's like Made by Jill or something. And it's private. So if somebody searched for Made by Jill, they wouldn't be able to see the pictures on Instagram unless they requested access to them. And so my Made by Jill account does have a few followers, but it's like the grandmas, like my mom and my mother-in-law and my sister. It's like people who might want to see their artwork. So you don't have to let anybody into the account. But if somebody were to find your username of your private account, they would not see anything there unless they requested access and you granted them access. So that's how a private account works. My 13-year-old asked for a camera for Christmas so she doesn't have to keep all the photos on her phone. And back up my photos to an external hard drive. I really never have time to be tech savvy anymore. I used to make calendars with Shutterfly. It took forever to choose pics. Yep. Let me see. Do I have recommendations for a beginner camera for a 13-year-old? I started with the Canon Rebel, which is their DSLR series. It's bigger. It has, you can buy different lenses to attach to it, but it comes with a kit lens. I think it's about $300 to $400 to start with a Canon Rebel. And it was a great camera for me to learn on. The big thing with photography is you can buy a fancy camera, but unless you know how to shoot in manual mode or aperture mode, the pictures you take with it are going to look the same as the pictures that you take with your phone. So my advice would be at 13, if you're going to invest in getting her a nicer camera, like a DSLR camera, also get her a class to learn how to manipulate the settings so that she can get better at taking pictures and notice a difference. Honestly, I mean, I was a professional photographer for 10 years. I know how to use my camera and its settings. And with how good the iPhone 11 Pro camera is and that portrait mode, I do not use my DSLR very often anymore because I can flip it into portrait mode and get a really great picture of my kids with that nice blurry background. And I don't have to lug around my heavy camera with me and worry about it getting dropped or what lens to use. This is just so easy. But if she's interested in photography, Canon Rebel is what I started with. Tessa said the session's been so helpful, especially at the end of the year, the holidays. I know this stuff is so good for gifts. You guys, Pinhole Press's website has the best photo gifts. I just did a Facebook Live on it this week, and I have a blog post. If you go to missfreddy.com/blog, the most current blog post is 9 items from Pinhole Press that are awesome gifts. Their calendars are just as easy as this book. You pick your 12, you plop them in, and you have a calendar. They've got puzzles. They've got finger puppets. They have the cutest memory games. Like each, the memories matching our pictures. And there's even holiday ones where you turn the pictures into like elf bodies and Santa hats. And their memory cards are their memory games are the cutest little gifts for the holidays, like perfect stocking stuffer. So definitely check out Pinhole Press. I really, really love that company. Amy says Nikon. Yeah, you're either a Canon person or you're a Nikon person. And I got in, my first camera was with Canon. And so that is where I grew. And now I have so much camera equipment that I couldn't switch to Nikon, but they're the same. Wherever you can find a good deal on Black Friday for a camera. And I do have a course on my website called DSLR Basics, which would teach her how to use any kind of DSLR camera. That's going to be on sale for Black Friday too. All right, did I miss any other questions? Jill, do you see any in there I didn't answer?
No, but I'm going to come join you.
Oh, hi. Good, now I'm not alone.
This has been so great.
Oh, sorry.
There are so many things. I'm going to mute you for a second. If you go to her Instagram account, I honestly have like stalked her for years. I'm so thankful we got her as a breakout presenter because she's kind of a celebrity in my world. If you're a photo organizing geek, she's kind of it. So if you are on Instagram and you go to Miss Freddie, you'll see all her little highlights from her stories in the past. And she usually highlights something from her blog. So missfreddy.com/blog. Or go to Instagram, click through all of her highlight reels. Like you can go way back and there's so many nuggets that will blow your mind. Like she makes everything so simple that even those of you that are like, I cannot do this, it's just too much for me, I encourage you, do not give up. Go to Miss Freddie's site and at least click through it because I have a feeling you're going to be empowered to at least do something. And that's why I'm glad she's here for you guys. You can build your legacy with your photos, seriously. And then this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I highly recommend, if you can't attend it, definitely watch it later. But backing up and organizing your photos. Like all of us are so overwhelmed with the thousands of photos we have on our phones. And Joanna, I know you were talking about, you know, how many pictures you have and getting your daughter a camera, but honestly, if she learns the beauty of backing everything up, then her phone will not be full of pictures, because Miss Freddie teaches you how to like put them in a safe place so you can take them off your phone, and then your phone is empty again and it can be filled up and put, you know, there's a beautiful storage option. I promise you can do it. It's not too much for any of you, even you, Joanna. Stick with it. But 4 o'clock, she's going to be doing that session, and I highly, highly recommend it. So we still have some time. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat.
Let me grab the memory card or the memory game, because I am obsessed with it and it's right in front of me. So I'm going to grab it real fast.
Okay, yeah. Show and tell is good. We like to see all your things. And that's what I love too about her blog and her Instagram story, is she does a lot of show and tell, where she'll literally do like all the background work and figure out the best solution. And then she just tells you the answer. And then you just say, okay.
Do you want to see some photo gifts?
Yeah.
I have lots of photo gifts from Pinhole Press, but this is the one I was talking about. This is the memory game. And you pick a handful of photos. Look, this is the back. They're cute, like little holiday stripes. But this is like, that's my nephew. That's my husband. You just like drop their faces in, like that's my mother-in-law. And then the kids are playing memory with like people they know. That's my brother-in-law. Like, there's my brother. It's so funny that there's my mom. They just turn into little elves, and then the kids can play memory with them. Now, that I think is a fun holiday gift, but if you don't want it to be so seasonal, they have like generic ones too. Like those are cute little from a photo session that I did. Yep, those are their memory games. I love them. I think they're $19.99, but like I said, they'll be on sale for Black Friday. These are the finger puppets. My fingers are like a little too fat for them, but my daughter did it. So you just like turn people into finger puppets. I did the neighbor's cat because my kids like love the cat. So they can, I'm gonna put these in their stockings, but they can play with them, which is fun. They just have such cute ideas, and nothing is complicated at Pinhole Press. You pick your pictures. My advice is to go through your camera roll, flag 12 to 20 favorites, and that's it. Then you bring those 12 to 20 onto their website, and then all you do with their items, like these are magnets, these are Polaroid looking magnets. You just drop the pictures in and order it. It's super fast, like that.
How many are in there for the memory games?
Good question. Not too many. I would say it's on the easy side of memory. I want to say maybe 12. However, that's the stack you get. Maybe 12 pictures. 15 at the most. What else? This is a sticker book that I just got for my daughter. And so this was a little white space, but I added her because you pick faces again and they turn them into little stickers. Like there's my daughter with the Snapchat filters. They don't even have to be good photos. And I did funny things like this is her favorite doll with a Snapchat filter on. Like those are pictures people would never think to print, but I thought it would be fun because the rest of this book is just blank pages. So she takes those pictures, those faces from the back, pastes them on here and like draws a scene or draws an outfit for them. And so I thought she would take like her favorite doll and herself and maybe put them in a scene together. So that was super easy to make too. And I want to say this one was maybe $15. There's just so many good ideas on the Pinhole Press website. I love them. They have notebooks. Those are great gifts for the holidays. They have calendars. I don't have one in here right now. They have labels you can put on your wine bottles or beer bottles. I should really get them to pay me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all the show and tell. This is my favorite, if that wasn't obvious. The elf memory game, and then there's a Santa one too. That's real cute.
So,
Are there questions coming in too?
not yet. But everybody's so thankful, and I am too. These are such fun ideas.
How many cards? Oh, that was the memory game. I could count them, but it'll say when you get to their website how many pictures you need to do the project. And it has like, just like most photo websites, once you upload your 12 to 20 that you've picked, they sit in a little bank at the bottom. So you can go into a puzzle and drop your favorite picture there. You could go into a Christmas card, take that same picture and make your Christmas card. You can go into a calendar, add 12 pictures in the calendar, add a whole bunch of things to your cart. Really, the photo management side of it is no big deal. At that point, you uploaded the ones that you like, and then you can just put them into all sorts of different projects.
So I love at the end of Miss Freddie's video when she's like, just pick one thing and do it. Don't get hung up. Just pick one thing and do it. So I'm curious if everyone who's left, I know a few people have left, but the people that are remaining, what are you going to pick as your one thing to do?
Great question.
I want to know.
Because now I just quadrupled the number of projects by showing all this.
So you quadrupled the number of options.
Options, yeah.
That's good options. So Lynn's going to do chat books, and Michelle's going to do Instagram account, and Brooke's going to clean up and back up her photos. So I guess we're going to be seeing you at 4, Brooke, over at our breakout. Chat books for sure. Nicole's going to start an Instagram account and pick the pictures for chat books. Jane's going to start Amazon photos.
Come to the breakout this afternoon then too, if Amazon Photos is your goal.
If you have an Amazon Prime account, Amazon Photos comes free with it. So come at 4 and learn more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, somebody's sharing with their cousin. We're going to do Amazon Photos for somebody, and chat books and groove books for Liz, my daughter. Good job, Liz. Somebody's going to clean up their phones and do Amazon chat books. You guys, I'm going to do 1 second every day. I'm going to start today. It's not the first of the year. I don't care.
It doesn't matter. I started my very first video. The one I showed you was my very first one. I started in 2016. I started on January 7th. Because somebody was talking about it before the new year. And I was like, oh, I can't commit to that. That is way too big of a commitment. And she shared her first 1 week clip, the mashup. And I was like, oh, I'm in. I only needed to see 1 week. And I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm starting January 7th. I don't care. And I have not stopped.
If I put my 1 second video into 1 second a day, it truly uploads that video into 1 second a day. So I could delete it from my phone and it would not mess up my mash.
Correct. The size of your 1 second every day app will get large if you, like, I've been doing it since 2016, and this year I was running low on space on my phone, and I realized that 1 second every day was like the largest app on my phone. So I went in and I cleared out my old projects because I've already mashed them and saved that final result. So it does grow, but you don't need to keep them on your camera roll anymore, those little short clips.
So once you mash them, it creates one longer like .mov file or .mp4 or something, and then you can save that somewhere else. And
yep. It says save to camera roll, and as soon as it hits your camera roll, if you're using a service like Amazon Photos, then Amazon Photos backs that whole video up for you automatically.
Perfect.
Should I admit I've been doing a chat book while listening? That's awesome.
That's what
hopefully Lynn is finding that it's easy. She can tell everybody else that it's not too overwhelming.
Yeah, efficiency and multitasking. I like it, Lynn. Good job.
Oh, Amy too. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Amy's efficient and multitasking all the time. She's got 10 kids.
Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah.
So good.
Well, that's super impressive that she actually did the 1 second and chat books while she's watching. Yeah, 1 second every day, honestly, has kind of changed my life. I started it in 2016. I didn't take a lot of video. I have a photography background, so I never really was taking video. So it was a stretch for me to get started there. And then the concept of taking it horizontally was awkward at first too. And after the first week mashup that I made, I take fewer photos now in my life because I'm usually taking my video clips. And for that, it's just really changed the way that I document our family because it's so easy and the clips are so fun. And what it's really in 2020 more than ever before, it it highlights the joy. It's 1 second a day. And so you see a bright second because well, occasionally when my kids were little, I would do like a tantrum or something. That's the second. But when it's mashed together, it's just you saw my film like 1 month or something that was, it's so happy. And it just really helps you be thankful for the blessings because you see a different happy lens on things that have happened.
Yeah, that's sweet. Even the hard moments, like if one of your videos is in a hospital or something, you come out of those things and there's always other moments. So I like that it's 1 second because it does paint the whole picture.
Yes, we've had a lot of clips in the ER or something like that, and they make it too. Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt, all of these sessions are recorded and they will be available later. And I'm sure you're not the only person overwhelmed, even though you're a guy. I know that caveat at the beginning was your way of, there's girls on here that are overwhelmed too, but it's okay. You got this.
Yeah. Like I said, just pick one thing because I gave options, hoping that one would feel like, oh, that's something I can do. You don't have to do them all. One thing that's helped me is somebody asked if I make prints of my books and if I put them in photo albums. People also ask me if I make books for every kid and like each kid gets their own book. My answer is no. I make the one family yearbook a year. My family's equally represented in it, and that's enough for me. Some people will want to make books for every kid and all of that. But for me, I picked one project and I do it every year, and that's enough.
Yeah, and I know Casey, her name's Casey, but Miss Freddie isn't necessarily saying this, but and for some of you, finances are an issue, and so you want to be frugal, and I totally understand that. She also does offer services where she will do your stuff for you, and a lot of people do just like hire her to organize all their pictures, and she takes control of their device and just like magically makes it all right, and she can like make your family photo album for you. So if you're in that position, obviously hire her to do that. So just to keep in the back of your mind.
Yes, I do offer a service where I make a family yearbook for you. And there's 2 options you can have. You can send me the pictures you want in the book and I'll turn it into a book, ship it to you. The cost includes the book and the shipping and everything. It's $500 though, so it isn't inexpensive because it is really time consuming to design the pages. And then I have an add-on for another $150. You can send me basically like your whole 2017 and I will do the work of picking the photos and narrowing it down to put it into the book, which that's the piece that's usually the most overwhelming for people. So I offer that as an add-on. If you want to just hand over a whole year to me, I'll narrow it down and turn it into a book for you.
So good.
Kurt made an album for his son when he graduated. That's that's the time when everybody sits down and they're like going to make a book or a slideshow. It's such a good project.
Yeah. So good. All right, friends. Well, this has been such a treat. I love hearing from Miss Freddie and from all of you. I do want to highlight just a couple of our announcements again to help you guys get through the rest of the reunion and make the most of all the time. For sure, if you haven't made a Giving Tuesday page, that would be awesome to do that now. You have a little window of time before our next breakouts start at what time? Sorry, at 4 o'clock. So I'm sorry, 2:30. 2:30, our next breakout. So we have a little bit of window. You can make a Giving Tuesday page. Also, if you haven't registered for a Hope at Home group for December, those are all out and on the website. Feel free to check those out. And so fun that we have the photo booth going all day today. Miss Freddie, you should jump on there with your kids too. There's lots of like fun features to make a family photo in the photo booth. And tonight is family game night. We have prizes coming to everyone who participates. So don't miss family game night. It's going to be super fun. I know you guys appreciate Miss Freddie, so feel free to write that in the chat. I won't end the call just yet, but for sure you can join us again at 4 for the backup boot camp version. What did you call it? How to organize and back up your photos. She charges people for Backup Boot Camp. They take this course. Lots and lots and lots of people do it, and she's doing it for us for free. And so it's like the generosity and beauty of her heart. So don't miss it. It's an opportunity for you to get this knowledge for free, and it's going to be so helpful. I
That one's going to be more technical. There's no show and tell, like cute stuff. That's more how we organize, how we remove duplicates, how we back up. That it's the technical stuff. Might feel overwhelming to some people, but it'll be saved and recorded to watch later, right? If today's not the day they can feel they can take that.
Absolutely. That is a good, yes. Don't come if you're a little bit overwhelmed already. Just watch it later.
Yeah. Can teens participate in Hope-Filled Kids, or is that just for adults?
Yes, I answered her. Definitely can attend if they want. Daisy said, "You're magical, Miss Freddie." I agree. And there's a lot of thank yous, and we agree. So thank you everyone for attending, and we'll see you at the next breakout. Have a fun day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Casey.